All right. Happy Wednesday. YouTube's telling me I'm live. Gotta get this out of the way. Shoot. Let me get that. There we go. I made a list. Where's my list? Actually, I was looking for my phone, but I have it up here too. Okay, so I got a list of things to do. Let's see. So, yeah, I'm editing that. That's fine. What else? Okay. Right, I got to make some notes about partials. So my notes about things I need to do, because I suppose resetting a little bit. I'm working on the referees guide portion of my one pager. I finished, quote unquote, at least for this draft, the back-to-back pages that are the players guide, and now I'm on the referees guide part. And I had been making some notes yesterday and today about what I wanted to do. So I need to add in. Okay, so I have a couple things on my list here. The first, well, not necessarily the first, but just I need to add in something about wilderness, about wandering creatures and getting lost in the wilderness. I need to add a note about ritual length so that people can't just go overboard with saying, I'm going to do ritual for the next 8 hours. I want to talk about stunts, which is kind of this idea of doing kind of complex actions. Oh, excuse me, I just dropped something on the floor. I want to talk about a little, just really, and some of these can be super brief. Basically, in this particular version of the game, it's kind of important that you really let the different classes, what I call callings, play to their strengths. And I'm very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very basic. And delvers, good in dungeons, essentially. Bounders, good in the wilderness. And I mean to say that I mean those to be, at least the intent, obviously you do with them what you will. But the intent is that you be broad with them, so that if you were looking for where is all the kind of roguey stuff, well, if it's roguey stuff in the dungeon, that would be delver, so they would be better at that. If it's roguey stuff in the wilderness, and this mean like hiding and sneaking, if you're in a dungeon, that's the delver's strength. If you're in the wilderness, that would be bounder's strength. And the sorcerer, though they have all these fun kind of toys at their disposal, they're not good at anything, and they're not good at battle. They're not good at stuff in the wilderness, not good at the dungeon. Obviously, warriors are good in battle. But it's important that you really, I think anyway, it's important to be expansive with those and not be kind of niggling with the, oh, I don't know, this isn't quite. It's like, are you in a dungeon? Are you doing something in a dungeon? Just give it to the delvers. Don't need to hem and hawing, not required. Yeah, just give it to them. There's not a lot of, there's it, especially your first level, you're kind of playing this. There's sort of a one shot. There's, you don't have that, you have all this, you have a lot of freedom, obviously, and this idea to create dice, but every die is going to have a 1 in 6 chance. The only way to better your 1 in 6 chance per die is to utilize to do the thing you're good at doing. So let them be good. Let them be good at stuff. Let there be light. Let there be good. Let them be good. So I need to put some notes about that. But I want to be quick. I want to try to. Obviously, I'm space is at a premium. I mean, it feels like I have a lot of space right now, but I think it's easy also to end up, it's one of those things you start to put the virtual pen on the paper or to add in some text, and suddenly things are moving around. Okay, so challenges, be expansive. Make offers, have fun. I think I also wanted to say something about this. Basically, I don't know. Maybe I'll save that for see what I have. So be expansive on bonus. Most challenges should be mundane. Be expansive with allowing bonus dice. I'm going to put another one here. So be expansive with a callings specialty. Do I call it specialty? What do I call it? Maybe. Specialty, such as a delver's mastery of Engineering. Be expansive with a calling specialty, such as Delver's mastery of Dungeoneering. It is the only, let's see, the only way for a character to achieve a better than 1 in 6 chance per die is through their okay, be expansive with the calling specialty such as a Delver's mastery of Dungeoneering. The only way for a character to achieve better than 1 in 6 chance per die is through their callings. Oops. I need another word for specialty. Synonym specialty. I guess through their callings. Yeah. Skill set. Be expansive with a calling specialty such as a Delver's mastery of Dungeoneering. I think that makes sense, right? The only way for a character to achieve better than 1 in 6 chance per die is through that skill set. I don't think they're calling through that skill set. Be expansive with allowing bonus dice. I got that part. Okay, so now I can mark that off my list. All right, that's one I needed to do. Mark it down, dude. All right, we can mark that one done. Okay. Talk about stuns. Talk about partial successes. Okay, use bargains, right? Yep. Use bargains and banes. Let's see. Maybe I'll put it here. Partial successes occur when a challenge produces less boons than success requires. Partial successes occur when a challenge produces less boons than required. Oh, you know what? This also could be about, shoot, stunts. Yeah, I may need to put a thing about stunts in here. Maybe I should put a thing about, okay. Yeah, I guess I'll put it in here. Stunts. Complex actions. Complex actions, I guess, are a challenge. Stunts are challenges of complex actions in which each action requires a boon or more to succeed. May succeed partially. May succeed partially. I guess I should say sequential. Okay, stunts are challenges of complex sequential actions in which each action requires a boon or more to succeed. May succeed partially. May succeed partially. Yeah, I don't know if I need to say more of that. Our challenges. Let's see. Stunts, I guess maybe they bundled challenges of sequential actions together. Right? together into a single contest. Each individual action requires a boon or more to succeed. May okay, stunts, bundle challenges. Oh no, bundle, shoot. Stunts. Yeah, I got it. Let me do this. Stunts, bundle. Sequential. I guess I'm just going to say a series of, just make it simpler language. A series of actions together into a single, and now I can use challenge. Example. I don't know. Oh, you no style. Okay. Example. I'll leave the example alone for right now. If I have room, I'll come back and add an example in. All right, stunts bundle a series of actions together into a single challenge. Each action requires each boon or more to succeed, may succeed partially. Partial successes occur when a challenge produces less boons than its quest requires. If a stunt partial success indicates some of the actions succeeded in okay, let's see. Partial successes occur when a challenge produces less boons than success requires. If a stunt indicates some of the actions succeeded depending on the number of boons and actions. Okay. All right, so now that was talk about partial successes, done. Talk about stunts, done. All right. Next up, add lost and wandering creatures. Uh-oh, I think I've gone. Yeah, didn't really want to do this. Yeah, so I don't want to have these top and bottom. I really want to have headers at the top. But we'll see. It could be that'll end up it'll end up being okay. But I might have to, pull up or down. Sometimes you can, I mean, in InDesign, you could set rules on your paragraphs and stuff to do that, but I find sometimes they get kind of finicky. So I kind of, something like this, I almost prefer just to adjust these, but we'll see. I got more to do. All right, so there's our running challenges, which now is a bit more to it. Okay, so that seems fine. Okay. Skill set like that. Does that make okay? Give it a save. All right. So what was up on my next thing I need to do? Wilderness lost. Oh yeah, wilderness. Distance. Okay, so how I got here? I got distance measured in hexes, base hex, 1 league, 3 miles across. Terrain characters on foot can move across gentle terrain at 1 league per turn. Difficult terrain reduces speed to 1 league per 2 turns. Extreme terrain reduces speed to 1 league per 3 turns. Plus 1 league per turn if on a good road. If mounted, plus 1 league for first turn, or I guess the first turn. Then same as on foot thereafter. Hunting, foraging, and camping. Challenge the scarcity of terrain. Excess boons, increase returns and or benefits. Searching within a hex. Okay, so, right, so navigation. I should probably put here, I should probably be kind of first. Navigation. across a hex. Challenge the, oh yeah, it's the same as this one. It challenge the turbidity of the terrain. Style. Oh gosh, it never wants to just let me go. So why is it doing that? For each bane. For each bane, course drifts off by 1 hex face. Oh, he's challenged twice. Challenge that, challenge that. All right, wandering creatures. Let's see. Roll. Check activity of hex. Or sorry, roll once per hex activity per day. And I'm going to have these. I'm going to have them, the ratings. These are the generic ratings. Okay, I thought maybe there was a roll once per hex activity per, I don't know. Let's see. So I'm doing 3 per 3 hours, right? 3 times 6 was 8. No, 9 would be 27. Yeah, 8 per 8. Turns. Expedition turns. I don't need to keep that. Let's see. I'm just trying to look up because I have the encounter stuff written. Oh, yeah, it's actually the same. Okay, so I think that's okay. Hunting, foraging, camping, challenge the scarcity of the terrain. Excess boons increase. Right, I got that. All right, so that's wilderness. Lost. Note about ritual length. That's under magique. Components. So, yeah, so rituals. A sorcerer cannot. What's the word? Cannot. I'm going to talk about ritual length. Cannot perform a ritual more than twice their level in turns. So a first level sorcerer can do 3 turns. Let's go longer than. I just got to jump off camera to turn the air conditioning on. It is, God, I thought it'd be all right because I had the air on before, but man, I am not all right. Hold on a sec. Boy, oh boy. It's hot in here. Man, I thought I could get away with it because I turning off the air. Just, avoid the low rumble you may hear in the background when I'm speaking and just quiet her. But nope. We don't have central air. You really have to be in a newer apartment in New York City to have kind of centralized air conditioning or heating or any kind of environmental controls. So we've got just, noisy old school window units. But man, oh man. Okay. Now now I'm at the things. All right, so I don't know if I'm going to have more. Right, and now for, where is this? Oh yeah, this goes under, oops. Under encounters. That can be there. And yeah, we'll let that, no. All right, I see. That's not working. I thought that would say inline in text, but it's not what I want, actually. I guess I want this. No. I want it to move with the text. Maybe I should just do this at the end. That would probably be the smart thing, but no. We'll see how that works. If it doesn't work, then I'll just save it for the end because it's not worth it. Look at that. I went from thinking, oh my gosh, I have so much space to, oh my gosh, I got so little space. Oh. All right. No, I meant that. Sorry. Oh no, I clicked it and unclicked it, and now you're moving again. Be there. All right. Click off. Okay. Well, add notable ritual length. Okay, we're done. Dunzo and Dunzo. All right, so those are my things that I had thought about that I was saying, remember, I need to do. Now, is that all I need to do on this? Well, I've got this column here, but it's a shorter column than these. It's not a full column, so I was going to see about putting something. I'm not sure what extras I could put there, but it's not a full thing. I mean, I suppose I could stretch out these columns more. I don't really want to. Okay. Well, I could. You know what? One thing. Well, let's see. Hold on a minute. I don't know if this makes sense. I think maybe I could move. I don't know. Would this fit? Maybe. I mean, I feel like it might. Let's see. You're gonna have this. Oh. Come on. Take these two, and I want to distribute. All right. That actually works. Why is this column not a word? What am I doing wrong there with column? Oh no, it's shifting. Now it's shifting things around that way. No, I don't want you to do that. I just want you to be there. Okay. Where's the full page of unique art and accompanying soundtrack on cassette tape? Man, I'm working on that. I don't know about a full page of art. Isn't this not, do you not find some artistry in these walls of text, Brian Smith? Are you trying to tell me you're not seeing the artistry that is there? I think I probably need to put a... Oh, no. No. What are you doing? Oh, what did I do? What did I do? What did I... Thank you. All right, I'm going to get... This is not working. You not working for me. All right, I'm just going to... I'm going to say I don't think we need it. What I'm going to do... You. I'm just going to put a title on top of here. Does this work? Yeah, you're going to be there. Okay. Brian says, I didn't see the other pages. Brian, I've been working on this thing for days. I know you've at least checked in on these streams. How do you not know? How do you not know that there's other pages? It is satisfying, like when you fit everything on a trip. That I totally agree with that. Yep, it does have that same... What the heck? I swear, for some of this stuff. There we go. Oh, Brian, check it on mobile. Can't read anything. Yeah. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, it is definitely satisfying. I agree. To be able to fit everything in. And I like this layout. I was actually looking something else, and they talked about using, because I'm still... I mean, I've been using I guess, I don't know, they used to call it desktop publishing. I'm not sure what layout software, whatever. I'd used Quark Express ages and ages and ages ago. It feels like forever ago. And it was horrible, but it was the only game in town for a long while. And then it was such a, I mean, this is tell you how long ago Adobe InDesign was this breath of fresh air to come in with. Actually had, it felt like a revolution in the way, because I mean, now they look more or less like they do now, but man, Quark was such a bear. And I don't even know. I wonder if Quark is still out there. They really just blew their... I mean, you see this over and over again. Where I guess I shouldn't be surprised with these software or just things in general, where you feel like this company's got the technology, and as long as they just keep iterating and they keep working on it, and then I guess the money. It must just be that the money gets in the way. They become satisfied. They feel like they've got this I don't know, like like nobody could take it on. We're too big, that's too big to fail. And then somebody comes around, and at the time it was Adobe, who had, Photoshop. It's not like this is pre that stuff. But Photoshop and Illustrator, yeah, they were good, but they didn't have this trifecta. And all of a sudden it was just like, blam. And I remember getting the company I worked for at the time to get InDesign. So I was like, please just get me InDesign. It'll be so much better and faster, easier. And it was. But I've been using them forever, and yet I feel like the stuff I worked on was fairly simple. The stuff I worked on, it was very much about, I did software manuals for a little bit, and I did some marketing materials, but there were a lot of iterating off of, come up with a template, and you just kind of iterate through it. So I never really got into using a lot of the features of these, even though if I put in, the time served with these softwares, like I haven't used them in a long time, but I never had to go really advanced or do a lot of things with merges. I didn't do lots of stuff with, data merges or complex indices and things like that. So I still discover stuff. And anyway, I was looking up something and they had using because they have these column guides, which are these light gray ones. And I was just using them for text flow, but here they were using them more for being able to set up kind of basically your own grid kind of thing. And one of the ones they recommended was this. I think this is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, a 10, kind of an 11 column grid. And so I decided just to try that basically for this. Oh yeah, I gave this too much space. And I like it. Me likey. I made this. I got overextended. I got too excited and I moved it too. And I like it. And I'm always like, man, I wonder how much other stuff I'm just missing, or tools or things I just don't ever use because I never had to use them. Brian says, at least I think, I only ever glimpsed Quark when I entered at a print shop in 2005. At least I think that's what they had. Yes. Yeah, 2005. It sounds, I think we're still in the kind of Quark only world. I'm just curious. I'm just going to look it up. I wouldn't be surprised if there's still some remnant of Quark out there. Oh, it's still here. But I don't think of anybody who uses Quark anymore. I'm sure some people do. Let's see. Yeah, Quark Express is the original and powerful desktop publishing software. Has been refined over 40 years. They're doing, how much is their perpetual license? Do they have one? Why is it? It's what's the deal here, Quark? I can't even see. All right, what happens if I do buy now? Only 500. I mean, see, this is like, to me, this is just crazy. In a land where you have Adobe. Now, granted, Adobe doesn't have a perpetual license. So, all right, fair enough. But, I think publisher is, if you don't get it on sale, is maybe at least probably no more than half. I would say it's probably less than half the prepaid annual, though maybe it's a bit more than half. I don't know, but it's certainly nowhere near $529.24. What does it even look like these days? All right, so there's Quark Publishing Platform. Yeah, where's just Quark Express? Yeah, give me the product overview. Let's just see. AI is here. Okay, that's not AI to do what, Quark? What exactly is the AI supposed to be doing for me? All right, AI. Okay, Quark Express now. No, is it 21.1 brings AI functionality. All right, supercharge your workflow with the revolutionary Quarky AI assistant. Oh, isn't this like what is this, like Clippy? Man, Quark. I'm not feeling Clippy 2.0 as Quarky. Oh my gosh. And okay, an AI powered font pairing, quote unquote. All right. But it says for license holders, asterisk, active maintenance and support contract required. So if you just buy it once and you let that annual one required, then what do they turn off the AI? Not that I feel like you want it. Quarky's had an upgrade. Effortlessly change tone and freely edit with a prompt. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, Quark. No. And it's funny because this is geared towards, I don't even know who this is geared towards, because if you're a writer or editor, or you've been given something to lay, like if, for example, if I was doing work for somebody else and they're like, here is my document, please lay it out. The last thing you're trying to do is edit stuff with prompts and things. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say, but I do appreciate Quarky with the top hat and monocle. That's a nice touch. Boost efficiency with font libraries and font manager palette. Okay, I guess. Level up your typography with Kohler COLR, Kohler V1. I don't know what that is. Okay, so these, I guess, is a type of font which is part of OpenType 1.9 standard. You can now work with solid color Kohler V1 fonts in both. What the hell is a Kohler V1 font? What is that? What is a solid color? All right, I don't want to watch a tutorial. Thank you. Yeah, it's not making me feel feel badly for giving up on Quark. Oh, I don't know, a couple of decades ago. And this is just some fruit punch spindrift for the working man. Yeah. Now, just out of curiosity, before I slam shut this window, what the heck is Color V1? Color V1 / CPAL. All right, there's a CSS tricks. Okay, I usually them. All right, what does it say? According to Toshi Omagari, the author of arcade game Typography, the world's first multicolored digital font was created in 1982 for a never-released video game called Insector. Multicolored fonts, sometimes called chromatic type, are still relatively rare on the web, even though the Kohler font format has had full cross-browser support since 2018, even in Internet Explorer. Okay, so this is what it means. All right, but they're saying Quark said solid color, which seems like, right? Didn't they say solid color? Yeah. So if it's solid color, so here's my question, Quark. If this, which is this really cool gradient across flowing through the text, if that's the payoff for using color or Kohler V1, then giving me solid color is just giving me the normal font. I don't know what it's supposed to mean, unless there's something else for solid color. Like this is solid. I mean, do they mean solid color in that there is color? It is solidly color? Though it's generally not what you read when you see solid color. You think of it as being one color. But, all right. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Well, there you go. Quark Express. Quark Express. Yeah, Quark has Quarky. Microsoft got rid of Clippy probably also 20 years ago, and Quark is still pushing Quarky. And I don't remember Quarky being there back in the day. So it seems like they were like, man, Clippy's gone away. You know what we need? We need our own Clippy. People just don't understand. People just don't understand the greatness of Clippy. So we're giving me Quarky. Brian says, give me non-Euclidean color. What are we going to do? Some kind of Lovecraftian font? Color without a shape font that just drives you mad instantly? Yeah. All right. Well, that was Quark Express. Let's see. How is this looking? I like to look. It's probably bad that I like to look at it without the guidance, so I get a sense of what the page is looking like. So I could take that and put it down here, but I'm going to leave that. I'll leave. What other do I have? Any other tables? Well, I have the. Shoot. The problem is my terrain table that's got my bits in it is not going to fit in here. It could fit down here, which I guess it will have to. I got nowhere else to put it unless I put it on the second. I do have the second page, but I wanted the second page to have, I think, monstery stuff. So I think this is forcing my hand to put the table down here. I think the table will... Table, right? Table? Wait a minute. What are you doing? Yeah, this is the table, right? Yeah. Oh, I see, because I've got that. Let me do the... Hold on a minute. That's... Okay. There we go. Yeah, we got to apply default. All right. Terrain. Wait a minute. Is that not... Hold on a minute. You're giving me some goof that I didn't ask for. No, you're not. I thought this was the table header. Right? Is that not right? Did I do something wrong with this? Did I set this up the wrong way? Well, my other table's over here. Why does that seem to be set up correctly? And this one seems to be set up incorrectly. Brian asks if I've ever dabbled in the print and play world. Not really. It's been something that I've wanted to dabble in, but I don't have a printer. Once I get a printer, and I am going to get a printer because I'm going to print out. I'm going to do some print myself zines. I think it's kind of on my plan to do kind of thing, so I can print out my own zines, and they'll be sort of your kind of more punk kind of zines, just self-printed, the whole deal. So I think I want to get one of those. I've been actually looking up, I think the kind of like a really plain Jane. I think I don't know. I was thinking even like a black and white Brother printer, something along those lines. And I think once I get something like that, I will I'll print. In fact, we do have a printer here, but it's an inkjet printer, and we only really use it if we have to print out. It's really, my wife usually uses it to print out returns. She's a big order 8 things. Okay, maybe not 8. She'll order, 2 or 3 pairs of shoes and return 2, right? She'll order 3 pairs of shoes, try them on, keep one, send back 2, which I guess they make it really easy now to do. We even have the post office or FedEx, or if they drop off packages, or UPS will actually pick stuff to go. So it's actually really not bad to do that. But I don't know. I'm not into it. I'm not into that. But we have a printer, or if we have to print something out for my daughter or something like that, every once in a while I'll print something out. But it hurts me to think about the cost of the inks if I was actually going to start printing out a bunch of stuff. So I don't want to do that. Brian's going to go pick up some from Staples. Well, speaking of Staples, I have used Staples. And in fact, what fell on the floor, I have some of these. I should give these away. I'm going to be updating it. Part of the reason why I haven't really done anything, let's see, hold on. I got some more back here. Yeah, so I have got, let's see, I still have 1, 2, 3. Well, this one's got a folded. Well, I can't give that one away then. 1, 2. Oh, hold on a minute. There's supposed to be one inside of another one. How did this one go? Oh, yep. I got more even than I thought. 1, 2. Is there another one folded in here? What's in here? I do. Well, it's just got a funky page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I got 9, 10. Anyway, I got about 10 of these. Yeah, 9 or 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like 9. I got about 9 of these, and these I printed out at Staples. And they come up, look, they honestly, for all intents and purposes, they're not as nice as what people are doing, sending off to professional print shops, but cover pretty well. And I'm deliberately on these kinds of things, like I'm working here, I'm deliberately setting the margins, because what the Staples kind of printing you can't really do is you can't have what they call full bleed. So when you have something like this, is the way this is set up is the way you'd set it up in something like InDesign or Publisher or whatever, is you have what you do is you have what they call the bleed, which is this part where you have the paper, I guess, the paper really goes out. So if you imagine, this is one sheet of paper, right? The actual size of the paper is larger, and then they cut it down to your final size. So for full bleed, what you do is you actually extend any kind of color or imagery you're doing off the final page with some kind of giving yourself a little buffer, so that when it's cut, because the cutting's not going to be 100% perfect, it might be a little bit tall, a little bit shorter. You get that, and then it kind of cuts it down. Now the Staples stuff printed does not have that, so it basically, or at least at this level, I forget what service I used, but it's more or less like you would if you were going to print this on a home printer, where the bleed does not extend off the page. You can't get full bleed. And since I was just doing these as a lark, because if you weren't following the channel or you happen to miss it, when I printed these out to take to ArcaneCon, but I only wanted to print out, I think, 2 of them or 3. 2 or 3 was what I asked to print out. And it was just basically one for me. And I think maybe I'd printed out a couple extras. I thought, whatever. I think something like that. and they accidentally printed out 30. And they were nice enough to give them to me. I mean, look, it would be unfair of them to charge me because I didn't ask for 30. And when I remember when the guy handed me this box, or it was actually in something like I felt like a Dunkin' Donuts. It was one of these things where you kind of open it. Anyway, the box for more or less. And there's 30. I was like, oh my gosh, 30. And the guy checked the order form. He's like, oh, you only ordered 3, but all right, here you go. They printed them. The guy actually was kind of had been happy with how they turned out, and I didn't ask for 30. So they gave me 30. And so I've been kind of giving them away ever since, and I kind of lost track of how many I had. And then I turned around, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've still got a bunch. A few. It was an awesome oops, Dave, absolutely. But in terms of, so I was going to say, in terms of staples, is that aside, the fact that you have to account for if you want to print something out in staples, that you can't get full bleed. If I was doing this again, knowing that, I just wouldn't have picked artwork and stuff that required or that I'd envisioned having a full bleed, and I would just do it. And so these that I've been doing lately, I have been deliberately doing with not looking to do full bleed artwork or color or patterns or anything else like that. That way I could go and print it myself or print it at Staples, and I'll be getting back pretty much what I put in. But I mean, interior wise, I think it's all black and white on the inside, but I mean, it looks fine to me. The paper is what it is, and it's just stapled and doesn't have, but I mean, everything looks, I have zero complaints in terms of, so here's some of the just public domain artwork, how it came out. I mean, it came out really well. So it is totally a fine solution for print and play, or if you want to make something and print out, even if it's just for, forget, professionally, just for your own use. It is absolutely a doable solution. But I want to do one better, like I said, and just get it myself, and then I can print a bunch of this stuff. And then, yeah, I would totally do print. I mean, I could see doing print and play through something like Staples because it is cheap. But then I'd have to go outside and stuff. And given the heat these days anyway, who wants to go outside? I'm not a driver. I mean, we have a car. I don't love to just drive places. So for when I printed the stuff out of that Staples, I printed it out. What did I do? I printed them out. And, oh, yeah, because I knew I'd be heading out of town. Basically, I printed them out so I could pick them up, and then I think it was pretty much on my way out of town or something. So I kind of had a plan there. In any case, yeah, Staples works fine. But now I don't know why is this not, my table not working? Okay. Is that better? No, it's still, I want table header. All right, so turbidity, ruggedness, activity. I don't have enough. Peril. I need one more. And it is scarcity. And we have clear. Clear and grassland. And, oops. I guess I'll just do grassland, river, woodland. What order am I putting these in? That's a good. Where's my PDF reader at? Where's my. No, not you. Okay. There we go. Whoops. Now where'd you go? Oh, you went to Wolves on the Coast. Okay. Yes. So I got clear, grassland, river, woodland, hills, barrens, swampland, jungle, mountain, desert. So I don't need this many. Did mine skip one? This thing with the I have this baseline. Using this baseline grid is really futzing around with my. What are you doing? It's really kind of driving me nuts a little bit. Yeah, why are you doing that? Yeah, autofit row to contents. Okay. All right. And then, all right. Gentle. Gentle. Oh, you know what? That's, oh, that's the wrong row. Right. Yeah. Or should I use normal? I mean, I use normal and other. Maybe I should use normal instead of gentle. Or I'll use moderate. Oops. Thought maybe I could change more than one column at a time, or row. Extreme. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Dave says, "How am I getting the text to line up with the blue lines?" It's the blue lines is this baseline grid. So what the baseline grid does is it makes that all the if you look across. So what it's supposed to do is if I turn all this stuff off, see how the lines all line up, regardless. And I kind of like it as a look, regardless of where you paragraphs you are. All these are lining up. They have the same baselines. So you set up your grid. And I'm not that great. You know, I try to each. Ideally, you want to set it so that it fits with your font size and spacing and all that nonsense. So I think I got one set up, but see what happens with tables is when there's extra padding and stuff that kind of and it just I don't know. It works, but you get some funky results because you'll see stuff kind of if you start to move these columns around because the text is trying to stay on the lines, you get some funky stuff. But that's how that works. It's kind of a look. You don't need to have it. And I have thought about for this project if it's something that I really don't want. But I got this far with it, so I'm sticking with it. Dave says they printed test books and had them bound at FedEx in the past. It's pricey but super easy. Same thing about the bleed there too. Yeah. FedEx or FedEx Kinko. There used to be a Kinko's, FedEx. I don't know. Did they even take out the FedEx Kinkos? Are they still going by FedEx Kinkos? But yeah, that's another. Yeah, they're great at a lot of that stuff. And I'm sure an Office Mac, whatever, the office supply stores, I think they're really handy. And they're also, you might have a neighborhood one too. I know there are some neighborhood ones. I just haven't tried them. And I think what I like about, it's one of the things that, you want to use, I try to, whenever I can, use local stuff, right? The local stuff, before chain brick and mortar stuff, before online stuff when I can. But one of the nice things about, say, a Staples is they have the online thing so you can do everything and send it, and it's got tools. I mean, heck, it has tools where you can even just make the thing entirely on a web interface. Not that I'm doing that, but it's there for you if you want to, but you can just kind of send it off. And it's just, it's less easy, less frictionless. It's like a local place where I got to go over there and muck around with it. I think I want to do it eventually because I'd like to get a relationship with some of those people and see if they can do stuff and see like, oh, can you kind of help me with this and maybe I can get whatever. And you could talk to them and you could probably make, there is a lot of advantages to, hey, if you can get a local print shop, then maybe we'll work with you a little bit. Maybe if you're like, hey man, I'm going to print a bunch of zines for different things and I'm looking for something. And if you can kind of give me a price break or whatever, we can talk about it. You know what I mean? Like you can make, whereas Staples and those places, they care not for such things, at least not at the the volumes that we're talking, yeah, sure. If you're Coca-Cola or McDonald's and you want to do something with staples, yeah, of course they'll bend over backwards and, you know, hand the lube to you. But not for your ordinary person. But if you have a local just dude, people down the street running their little print shop, then yeah, maybe they will work with you. If you're like, yeah, I'm going to print out, I'm going to be doing 10 zines this year, and I think I'm going to be doing about 50 a piece. So over the course of the year, that's X, whatever. Like maybe you get something. So I probably would like to do that at some point, but it takes a little bit of time and effort and things I don't always have. Okay, so the moderates. Going back to this. Get to my whole sheet here. So, oops. Wait, turbidity, was I using it as a number? Because some of the places using it as a number. Once per hex activity. Ruggedness. I guess I'll put, I think I want to, because the numbers might come up. Oops. Two. Three. Once, twice, thrice times a lady. All right, I can use, oops. Okay. Oh yeah, and I could also, all right. No, activity, 1, 1, 1. Difficult. Woodland's difficult across the board. And I think mountains and deserts are both extremes across the board. Yeah. Let's see. And then hills, or sorry, yeah, hills are also difficult across the board. Barren's got a little bit of extreme mixed in. Three, two, two, and they're extreme there, and they're difficult in between. Oh, and then swampland and jungle, well, they're all just extremes. I wonder if I should vary these up at all. Should I make that moderate? I feel like deserts and mountains shouldn't have quite as much stuff going on. Okay. See how that's funkiness is doing? That's because of that. Oh, what are you doing? Just want to put you at the bottom. Oh my gosh, you're going to drive me crazy. Moving you sideways, table. You should not be changing at all. Okay, that's fine. And what am I going to call this? Hold on a minute. This is heading, yep, heading 3. That is correct. All right, terrain modifier table. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, this, you know what? Oh, I copy and pasted it, and it copy and pasted the no color for you. Or actually, I guess maybe it's, no, not just for you. Okay. It didn't happen anywhere else. All right. And then I'll group these together. And I will call that terrain table. Bada bing, bada boom. So now if I wanted to put some artwork on, I have a, of course I might think of, I don't know if there's anything else I need to have here. I could put, because I know I have poisons. I could do some poisons. I don't have any poisons, but I'm wondering if I need some poison or something else. But yeah, that's, all right. I guess that's it for GM referee page 1. So there, I have a whole other page and then maybe a page of optional stuff. Or I suppose I'm going to do a page of optional stuff. I really have to have 2 pages because I'm doing front and backs. But now my goal, if who knows what will make that happen, I need to have it done latest really by Friday or Saturday morning. I mean, the absolute latest should be Saturday morning so I can send it to Staples to get printed so I could pick it up Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning because I'm taking it to a con outside Philly on Sunday and I'm going to run. So that's my absolute drop dead would be Saturday morning, presuming that they can cut. But really, I want to have it done, say, Friday afternoon. I think, so here's the thing. I don't need the optional page for myself. That would be more for, hey, if I'm handing this out, then yeah, I could use the optional. That would be kind of fun. I don't need it for my own running of the game. The ones I need, I guess, here's the thing where I don't want to get lazy, but the ones I need for Sunday are these first 2 pages. Because I want to have them, those I could print out, give to the players who are playing, and they could essentially keep them, I think. But I'd like to have the whole thing kind of done. I think it'd be nice to have it done. Or at least version 1. All right, folks, so I'm going to take, I'm going to see cleaner, get the heck out of here. I'm going to log Orf. Got some other stuff to do, and I also need to make a video for the main channel, hopefully sometime today or tomorrow. All right, that's all I got. I'm gonna, as usual, I will be plugging away, and I probably will be back tomorrow, hopefully you'll be able to see where I've gotten to. Probably not much further than this, but we'll see. We'll see, because one of my issues is, and this is like reason 4,561 not to work directly in layout, is it means that I have to be in Publisher to do the work. And since I'm kind of eyeballing things, doing it that way, it's hard for me to do work anywhere else. So if I just had it, let's say if I was just working it up in Markdown as an original copy, then I could have it on my iPad, I could have it on my phone, I could kind of do it anywhere. But because I moved to layout early and silly, I'm a little bit locked in. Now I know what I've got, and I know I can type stuff up, and I've done that, kind of written up notes. But I kind of like when I can see it in the context of the rest of it, and I just don't have it. And the funny thing is, I will probably want to maybe make a web version of this, or do something where I'm going to want to, eventually I want to backport it to Markdown. So I'll have to do that at some point too. Things for other days, though. All right, folks, I'll be around. Have a great, first stay cool in this heat. Do what you got to do to stay frosty during this heat wave. If you're in the heat wave, if you're being spared, then lucky. With that said, have a great rest of your day, night, whenever you end up watching or listening to this. Game on, everybody. Talk Talk to you later. And yeah, Dave, I feel you. It is sometimes hard to know when to go into layout and if you go into layout too soon and whatnot. And I definitely went in a bit too soon, but I felt like I needed to see what things looked like in the constraints. So might have been a bad choice. We'll see. It's all right, though. I'm working through it. Game on, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye now.